October 2024. I just moved to Seattle for a tech job. My Capitol Hill studio was tiny, overpriced, but the area was cool bars, shops, life. I walked everywhere. Parking was a nightmare, buses spotty at night. That night I left the Pine Box, an old funeral home turned bar, around 11:30 p.m. Had a few beers with coworkers, nothing wild. The air was damp, streets quiet, just a few folks out. I felt okay, but something in the air was off. I cut through Cal Anderson Park, a big green space with a fountain. Usually safe, but at night it's dead quiet. Just my footsteps. Earbuds in, lo-fi beats playing. I wasn't paying attention. Then I saw him under a street lamp, 100 feet away. Too tall, his shadow stretching way too long across the grass. His head tilted weird, body facing me. Couldn't see his face yet, but a cold chill hit my neck. Something wasn't right. I yanked out an earbud, music fading, and slowed down. He moved jerky, like a puppet with snapped strings. A few steps toward me, then he stopped. Head snapped up. That smile. Too wide, like a carved pumpkin. His eyes were dark, like black holes, never blinking. He swayed, caught in a breeze I couldn't feel. My heart raced, legs locked. He tilted his head, studying me, then glided closer, feet barely touching the ground. He wasn't walking, more like floating, jerky and wrong. That smile was all I could see, glowing in the dark. My breath caught, body frozen. The park's shadows stretched, streetlights too far apart. He took another step, head cocked, eyes locked on me. I felt like prey. My brain screamed to run, but my legs wouldn't move. The air pressed down, heavy, suffocating. That grin kept coming, wider, unnatural, wrong. My legs finally snapped awake. I bolted across the park, backpack slamming my shoulders, breath in sharp gasps. Sneakers hit grass, then pavement. A giggle high, childish, twisted came from everywhere, echoing off trees, benches, the fountain. I hit the street, dodged a cyclist who cursed, aiming for Broadway's lights, crowds, safety. I didn't look back. I couldn't. My heart pounded, telling me he was still there. I ran, lungs burning, heart hammering. The giggle followed, louder, bouncing through the streets. I glanced back once, stupid move. He was there, 50 feet away, smile glowing under a streetlight. Not running, just gliding, jerking like a glitch. His head tilted, eyes empty. I turned into an alley, dumb choice, but panic took over. Narrow, dark, dumpsters and brick walls. It screamed horror movie trap, and I was the idiot running into it. The giggle filled the alley, echoing off bricks, mixed with fast, light steps like fingers tapping a table. I ducked behind a dumpster, back against cold metal, fighting to quiet my gasps. My chest heaved, panic bitter in my mouth. I listened, heart thumping in my ears. The giggle stopped. Silence. Just distant traffic and my shaky breaths. I peeked out. Nothing, no shadow, no movement. Was he gone? I wanted to believe it. I told myself it was my imagination. Too many beers, too many scary stories. Legs shaky, I stood, inching toward the alley's end. Then I saw it on the brick wall, a spiral 6 inches wide with a jagged line through it. Fresh, brick chipped, like carved with a knife. My stomach twisted. It wasn't just graffiti. It felt meant for me, like a message. I froze, staring, my breath stuck in my throat. I didn't wait. I ran from the alley, hitting Broadway's lights and crowds, college kids laughing, a guitarist strumming, a couple arguing by a taco truck. Safer, but not safe. I kept checking behind me, expecting that smile, those eyes. Nothing, just Seattle's chaos. My phone was dead drained at the bar. Dumb move. I walked fast, head down, heart still racing, praying he wasn't there, watching from the shadows. I got home, locked the door, checked every window, no sleep. Sat on my couch, kitchen knife on the table, jumping at every creak. Next day, I called in sick, spent hours online. Found Smiling Man stories, Reddit, old forums, a blurry 2012 YouTube video of him dancing in a street. Same jerky moves, same grin. People called it a creepypasta, but it was too real to me. I knew what I saw, and it wasn't a story. One post stuck with me. A Portland guy saw the Smiling Man outside his apartment, under a streetlight, like I did. Next day, a spiral was on his door, same as my alley. He wrote about shadows moving in his vision, giggles at night. Then he stopped posting. No explanation, just gone. I started noticing stuff too. A spiral on the sidewalk by my building. A faint giggle in the elevator. Once, I woke at 3 a.m. My door was ajar, though I'd locked it tight. I told myself I was paranoid, but the feeling wouldn't quit. Something was watching. I couldn't stay in Seattle. A month later, I moved to Tacoma. New job, quieter town. Haven't seen him since, but I'm not calm. I check locks every night. Listen for that giggle. Shadows look too long sometimes, or streetlights flicker for no reason. I say it's nothing, but I know better. He's out there somewhere, waiting for me. That's my story. I got away, but the fear's still here. That night changed me. Shadows aren't just shadows now. Next up is Brian's story. A guy I met online while digging into this. His brother saw the Smiling Man too, in Seattle, same city, but his brother didn't come home. This one's heavy, so stay with me, it's gonna hit you hard. You'll see why I can't let this go. I found Brian on a Reddit group for missing persons. His post, "My brother vanished in Seattle, anyone heard of the Smiling Man?" gave me chills. After messaging, he let me share his story. He's still hoping for answers. His brother was Lesnar Noe Velasquez Cardenas, 21, from Redding, California. You might know his name. Lesnar went missing May 29, 2025, after a hike in Mount Shasta. But Brian says there's more the cops didn't tell. Lesnar was visiting Brian in Seattle, spring 2025. Brian's 28, a mechanic in Fremont. Lesnar, an EMT, wanted to move there, so he crashed on Brian's couch to check it out. He was strong, funny, dreamed of helping people. They were at the George and Dragon, a Fremont dive bar, dark wood, soccer flags, packed with locals. They had a few pints, talked about Lesnar's plans, maybe sharing an apartment. Good times, no hint of trouble. Around 10 p.m., Lesnar said he needed air, stepped outside. Brian stayed, thinking he'd be back soon. 20 minutes later, no Lesnar. Brian went out nothing but a few smokers by the bar. Lesnar's phone went to voicemail. Brian checked alleys, a gas station, their truck empty. Then he saw where Lesnar stood, a spiral scratched in the concrete, jagged line through it. He snapped a pic, texted Lesnar. No reply. Something felt wrong. Brian reported him missing next morning. Seattle PD took it seriously. Lesnar was out of town. They pulled bar footage. It showed Lesnar step out, light a cigarette, look down the street, then freeze, terrified. He dropped the cigarette, walked fast toward the block's end. The camera caught a shadow for a second, too tall, too thin, moving wrong, not human. Brian's gut sank watching it. That wasn't just some guy out there. Cops found Lesnar's phone in a downtown bus station trash can. No prints. Trail went cold. Then Reading PD called Lesnar was in a crash there. May 29th, 200 miles south. He called CHP, left before they arrived. A woman drove him to his apartment. A taxi took him to Mount Shasta's trailhead that afternoon. Last sighting. Brian says Lesnar wasn't a hiker, had no gear, never mentioned Shasta. How'd he get there so fast? No car, no money. Brian doesn't buy the cop's story. Lesnar was focused, not the type to wander. Something lured him to Shasta. Brian checked Lesnar's backpack, left at his place. Found a notebook, empty, notes, anatomy sketches, but the back pages had dozens of spirals, some tiny, some huge, with jagged lines. Words in margins. He smiles, don't look. It's not him. Brian's hands shook. This wasn't his brother's usual stuff. Brian asked Lesnar's friends, co-workers, anyone. A bartender at the George and Dragon mentioned a smiling guy seen around Fremont at night. Not a person, just a figure who watched, then vanished. A spiral was scratched on the bar's back door weeks before Lesnar vanished. Bartender thought it was kids, but now he wasn't sure. Brian's stomach churned. It matched the spiral he found and what Lesnar wrote. Too close to ignore. Brian went online, found stories from Seattle, Portland, San Francisco. People talked about a tall man with a smile that didn't fit, showing up before bad stuff, crashes, suicides, vanishings. Some mentioned spirals like a calling card. An old ex-thread tied the spirals to an ancient cult, the Grinning Void. Brian didn't know what to make of it, but it scared him. The pieces fit, but they painted a dark picture. Cops said Lesnar had a breakdown, wandered off after the crash. Brian knows better. Lesnar was tough, had his head on straight. He wouldn't just disappear. Brian's sure the smiling man got him, and those spirals are proof. He's still searching, posting online, hoping for leads. Checks Mount Shasta news daily, but nothing. Just silence. Lesnar's gone, and Brian's left with questions no one can answer. I've stayed in touch with Brian. He's a wreck, but won't quit. He sent me a photo of Lesnar's spiral. It matches the one in my alley. Too close to be chance. I'm seeing spirals in Tacoma bus stops, parking lots, a flyer on a pole. Maybe they were always there, maybe not. I feel something bigger behind this, something dark, tied to those symbols. It's a weight I can't shake. The smiling man's real. Ghost, demon, worse, I don't know, but he's out there. Those spirals hint at something deeper, a puzzle I can't solve. It's a dread in my chest. Seen him or those symbols? Drop a comment. Tell me I'm not alone. Tell me you felt this fear. I need to know others get it, that I'm not crazy. If you're out late and see a guy under a streetlight, smiling like his face don't fit, don't look. Keep walking. Once he sees you, he don't let go. Thanks for listening, everyone. Stay safe. Lock your doors, keep your lights on, and don't stare at the shadows. You never know what's smiling back.